Hi, this is Kyle Cook, Vice President of the Diamond Bank. Today in our web series, Inside Your Jewelry, we're going to be talking about a very common question that we get asked here at the Diamond Bank on a very regular basis, which is, how do I tell if this Rolex I have is genuine or not? All of these methods that we're going to be discussing are very general, quick, easy ways to try to spot a fake Rolex without having to take it apart completely, because unless you're a trained expert, you should not try to take everything apart. You may end up damaging and causing more harm to the watch if it really did turn out to be real. So here we have two Rolex Submariners. At first glance you can see they look very similar to the untrained eye. However, if you look a little bit closer, one of the first and most common telltale signs is the second hand motion. As you see, the watch on the left, which is the genuine Rolex, has more of a sweeping motion to the second hand, whereas the imitation watch on the right has more of that tick, tick, tick. Another sign is you can see on the genuine Rolex the date's magnifying glass really distinctly enlarges the date number in the center to where it fills up the entire center of that magnifying glass, whereas with the knockoff you can see the date still appears very small. It doesn't magnify or fill it up, and it's oftentimes off center. If you look directly down at it, it's not even lined up perfectly. Another sign to watch for is all of the fine lettering and markings on the face of the watch. In a genuine Rolex, everything is perfect and crisp and clean and perfectly aligned, whereas with the imitation Rolex, if you can notice slightly, it may be hard to see on camera, the crown, the Rolex crown, is actually a little bit off center to the left, so it does not line up perfectly with the 12-hour marker, which is something you can always watch for, just imperfections in the lettering. Basically, when it comes down to it, Rolex never does anything poorly. Everything they do and make is perfectly crafted. You will not find any blemishes or mistakes from the factory like you do see glaringly on replicas. The next giveaway on an imitation Rolex is that oftentimes fakes have engravings on the back of the case, like you see on the right where it says Rolex and has the Rolex symbol. A genuine Rolex, generally speaking, will not have any kind of markings or engravings on the back of the case like this. So the next thing to watch for on replicas is again the quality of the craftsmanship. As you can notice on Rolex, the links in the bracelet are all solid, one solid piece, whereas with many replicas they are multiple pieces that have been folded together. So you can see these little lines where the watch band links have been folded, to make the appearance of one main piece. So that's another telltale sign. Another really big, easy sign to look for is what's called the crown of the watch, where you wind and set the time and the date for a watch. Genuine Rolexes have a screw-down crown where they screw into place and they do not move, whereas with an imitation watch, often you can just simply keep turning and twisting them and they will move, and they do not lock and screw down into place. They'll continually wind. Many people often talk about the weight. If you were to hold both of these watches in your hand, you would immediately notice that the replica watch weighs significantly less than the genuine Rolex. It's maybe half the actual weight of what a genuine Rolex feels like. So just to the, to the touch, it just feels much less significant. So in general, you really just want to look at the fine details of the watch. Like I mentioned before, Rolex does not make any imperfections. Their watches are perfect and expertly crafted. You won't find any little bubbles or imperfections along the bezel here, whereas you can see, if you could zoom in, it's almost like a laminate that's coming apart on the bezel here, whereas that's just not going to be the case on any genuine Rolex. So these methods are really just a very, the most basic, simple, quick ways to try to tell whether or not you have a genuine Rolex on your hands. By no means is this going to be 100% accurate. For that, you should take your watch to a trusted expert, someone who has the capability to remove the back of the watch safely. That way they can examine the internal workings of a Rolex. Thank you for watching this Diamond Bank web series, Inside Your Jewelry, about some easy ways to spot a fake Rolex watch. If you are still uncertain about the authenticity or value of your watch, feel free to contact us for a free consultation.